I took the night shift because it was supposed to be quiet. That's what everyone told me. Less people, less stress. Just routine work and long hours of silence. I actually liked the idea. I'm not very social anyway, and the extra pay helped with rent. I work security at a small logistics warehouse on the edge of an industrial area. Nothing special. Trucks come in during the day. At night, it's mostly empty. My job is simple. Check cameras, log any movement, do one walkthrough every hour, and make sure the gates stay locked. My first few weeks were exactly like they said. Boring, predictable, safe. The warehouse is huge. But at night, only one section has lights on, the office area and loading bay 3. The rest stays dark to save power. The camera room is small, warm, and always smells like burnt coffee from the old machine. Most nights, I watch cameras, scroll my phone, and listen to the hum of the air system. Nothing ever happens until about 3 weeks ago. It started small. Camera 12 would flicker sometimes. It points down a long storage aisle stacked with sealed boxes. I told me it was just signal interference, old wiring. I believed them. It never showed anything weird. Then one night, during my 2 a.m. walkthrough, I noticed aisle 12 felt colder than the rest of the building. Warehouses get cold at night. Metal walls, concrete floors. It made sense. I even joked about it in the shift log. But after that, I started noticing other small things. Boxes that looked slightly out of place. Not opened, not broken, just not exactly where I remember them being. I told myself it was day shift workers moving stock and not logging it properly. Normal explanation. Then the sounds started. Not loud sounds. Nothing dramatic. Just small ones. Like cardboard sliding. Or plastic wrapping, tightening slowly. Sometimes I'd hear a soft tap. 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 Like something settling. Old building. Temperature changes. Makes sense. That's what I kept telling myself. Then, last Tuesday, I heard footsteps. Not running. Not chasing. Just walking. Slow. Even. Calm. I checked every camera. Nothing. Every aisle. Empty. I even did an extra walkthrough. I found nothing. After that, I started keeping the radio volume higher. Just for background noise. 3 nights later, something else happened. Around 3:17 a.m., camera 12 went static again. But this time, it stayed static for almost 10 seconds. That had never happened before. When the picture came back, nothing looked different. Same boxes, same aisle. But one box, third shelf from the floor, was rotated slightly. Like someone had turned it to face the camera. I stared at it for a long time. Then, I checked the recording from 5 minutes earlier. It was already turned. I told myself I just hadn't noticed. I wanted to believe that. I really did. After that, I started avoiding aisle 12 during walkthroughs, unless I had to. Then came the smell. Not strong, just faint, like damp cardboard mixed with something metallic. It only showed up near that aisle. I reported it. Maintenance said maybe a leaking roof panel. It hadn't rained in 2 weeks. Last Friday, everything changed. I was alone, like usual. Midnight to 6 a.m. shift. At 2:58 a.m., I heard the footsteps again. This time, closer. Not echoing through metal walls. Not distant. inside the warehouse. I checked cameras immediately. Nothing. Then my radio made this soft burst of static. Then, breathing. Not loud, not dramatic, just slow breathing, slow. Like someone standing very close to a microphone. I called out on the radio, asked if anyone else was on site. No answer. Just more breathing, then silence. I locked myself in the camera room for about 10 minutes. I'm not proud of that. But something about it felt wrong in a way I can't explain. Eventually, I forced myself to do a walkthrough. Everything looked normal until I got to aisle 12. The lights above it were off. Only that aisle. I don't control those lights individually. I stood there for maybe 30 seconds before walking in. Halfway down the aisle, I heard something behind me. One step. I turned. Nothing there, but the temperature dropped so fast I could see my breath. Then I noticed something on the floor. A security badge. Old style. Not ours. No logo. No photo. Just a magnetic strip and a number scratched into the plastic. The number was my employee ID. Not similar. Exact. I picked it up. It was warm. Like someone had just been holding it. Then every light in aisle 12 turned on at once. Not flickering, not slowly, just instant. And every box on both sides was slightly open, not ripped, not broken. Just lids lifted. Like something inside had pushed upward. I didn't open any of them. I walked out, slowly, calmly, like if I ran, something would notice. I finished the shift in the camera room. Didn't tell anyone the full story. Just reported lighting fault. Here's the part I can't explain. Yesterday, HR emailed me asking why I used my backup badge at 3:04 a.m. last Friday. I don't have a backup badge. They attached the access log. At 3:04 a.m., employee entry, south emergency exit. That door opens to the outside loading yard. I checked the cameras for that time. The door opened. No one was there, but the sensor clearly triggered. The door pushed outward, like someone left. I put in my 2 weeks' notice this morning. They asked why. I told them I found another job. That's not true. I'm still working nights. Just not there. But last night, when I got home, I emptied my pockets onto the kitchen counter. Keys, wallet, phone, and a plastic badge. No logo, no photo. Just a scratched number. My employee ID. I threw it in the trash outside. This morning, it was back on my kitchen table. I live alone, and tonight, my new job starts at 11 p.m. Night shift, security, different building, same company, same system. And an hour ago, I got an automated email welcoming me to the facility. Attached was my access profile. 2 badges registered under my name. 1 active, 1 already in use. You know, the weirdest part is that for the first few weeks, absolutely nothing happened on my night shifts. And honestly, that's what made everything that came later so much worse. I work as a night janitor in a private medical office building. It's not a hospital, just a collection of specialist clinics. You know, dentists, dermatologists, one small lab. After 10 o'clock at night, the entire place is empty except for me and a remote security operator who watches the cameras from another city entirely. My job is simple. I take out the trash, mop the floors, disinfect all the surfaces, and lock the internal doors. It's routine. It's quiet, predictable, and I really liked that. The building itself is modern. The hallways are bright white. There are motion-activated lights everywhere. Automatic doors. Everything feels controlled and safe. My shift starts at 11 p.m. By midnight, I'm usually up on the third floor, which houses the dermatology clinic and a few storage rooms. Nothing interesting ever happens up there. For the first month, it was perfect. It's me, my music, and the quiet hum of the building. Then, small things started to happen. The motion lights in hallway C would sometimes turn on before I even got close to them. At first, I just figured it was a sensor delay, or maybe I was just walking faster than I realized. A few nights later, I noticed the lights behind me were shutting off faster than usual. It was like the building was in a hurry to get the darkness back as soon as I passed through. Still explainable, I told myself. Then came the elevator. It's programmed to park on the first floor at night to save energy. Every single person who works there, day or night, told me that. But twice, I came out of the supply closet and saw it just sitting there on my floor, floor 3, with the doors wide open. No one was inside. I started taking the stairs after that. Next was the smell. It was this sharp, antiseptic scent, but way stronger than normal. It was almost like the sterile air you'd find in an operating room. And it only ever happened right near exam room 3B. I asked the day staff if they stored anything special in there. They just looked at me funny and said it was empty, waiting on the list for renovation. I checked it out myself one night. They were right. It was completely empty, almost too empty. There wasn't a speck of dust, no leftover marks on the walls from old equipment. It was just clean, pristine, like it had never even been used. I was mopping the floor outside of 3B at around 2:40 in the morning when I heard a movement from inside. It wasn't loud, just a faint sound, like chair legs sliding slightly on the floor. I froze. I just stood there, listening. Silence. The room was empty. Lights were off, perfectly clean. But the air felt warm, like someone had just been standing in there. I locked it again and went back to my work, trying to shake it off. Then, around 3:10 a.m., my work phone buzzed. It was security. They asked if I was cleaning inside exam room 3B. I said no. I hadn't gone back in since I checked it earlier. I kind of laughed it off, said it was probably another sensor glitch. They didn't laugh back. They just asked me to go check it anyway. I really didn't want to. My stomach was in a knot, but it's my job, so I did. The door was still locked, just as I'd left it. I unlocked it, pushed it open, and the lights flickered on automatically. The room was empty, but this time, the exam chair was fully reclined. I am 100% positive it was upright earlier. I know this because I remember specifically leaning my mop handle against the back of it, and now It was laid all the way back, flat, like it was waiting for a patient. I backed out of the room. I told security over the phone that it was probably just loose hydraulics or something. They just said, okay, but their voice was quiet, too quiet. 2 nights later, it got worse. It was about 3 a.m., and I was in a supply closet restocking paper towels. That's when I heard it. The clear, unmistakable ding of the elevator arriving on my floor. I peeked out into the hallway. The elevator doors were open. I walked slowly towards it, my heart pounding in my chest. Inside, there was a wheelchair. We don't have wheelchairs in this building. It was facing the back wall, and it was empty. I just stood there, staring at it. I didn't touch it. I immediately called security. They were adamant. No one had entered the building. No deliveries, no staff, no patients. They asked me to just push the wheelchair back inside the elevator and send it down to the first floor. I did not want to touch that thing, but again, it's my job. I walked up to it, and when I put my hands on the handles, they were warm, not room temperature warm. They were body warm. I quickly pushed it into the elevator, hit the button for floor 1, and watched the doors slide shut. That should have been the end of it. But when I turned around, the door to exam room 3B was open. I know I locked it. The lights inside were on. I walked closer, slow and careful, peering inside. The exam chair was upright again, but now there was a fresh sheet of paper pulled across it, just like they do for a patient, and on the little metal tray table right beside it, there was a single white hospital wristband. There was no hospital logo on it, no name, just a printed label. It read, patient name, cleaning staff. Time, 3:12 a.m. I left the building early that night. I didn't even finish my shift. I just called my supervisor and told him I was sick. I didn't go back for 3 days. Yesterday, they called and asked if I had quit. I told them I needed 1 more shift to decide. So tonight, I went back. Everything looked normal. Too normal, the silence felt heavy. At 2:55 a.m., I passed by exam room 3B. The door was closed. Lights were off. Everything was fine. Then, at 3:12 a.m. exactly, all the hallway motion lights turned off at once. Complete, total darkness. It only lasted for maybe 3 seconds. When they flickered back on, the door to exam room 3B was wide open. I didn't go inside this time. I didn't even hesitate. I turned around, walked straight to the exit, clocked out, and left. I'm quitting tomorrow. But here's the part I can't explain. The part that's making it hard to breathe right now. When I got home tonight, I emptied my pockets onto my kitchen counter. My keys, my phone, my work gloves, and a plastic wristband. White. No hospital name. Just printed text. Patient name. Cleaning staff. Next appointment. Tonight, 3:12 a.m. I didn't think anything was wrong with that apartment. Even now, I'm not sure when it actually started. I moved into the place because it was cheap. Too cheap, honestly. But I work late shifts and just needed somewhere quiet to sleep during the day. The building was old, but not abandoned. Old. Just tired. Like it had been standing longer than it wanted to. My unit was on the second floor. Small living room. Tiny kitchen. 1 bedroom. 1 bathroom. And a hallway closet with sliding mirror doors. Normal place. First 2 weeks were completely fine. Then one small thing happened. My bathroom light turned on by itself. I figured loose wiring. Old building. Happens. Then it happened again the next night and again. Always around 2:30 a.m. I started turning the breaker off before bed. That fixed it. Or I thought it did. One night I woke up around 3 a.m. The bathroom light was on. Breaker was still off. I told myself maybe I flipped the wrong switch earlier. I didn't check. I didn't want to. After that, I started sleeping with my bedroom door closed. Then came the mirror. The hallway closet has 2 sliding mirror doors. When you walk from bedroom to kitchen, you pass right by it. One night, coming back from the bathroom, I noticed something weird in the mirror. The hallway looked slightly darker than it actually was. Like the reflection had less light than reality. I tested it the next morning. Normal, perfect reflection. I told myself it was just being half asleep. Then I started noticing something else. Sometimes, when I walked past the mirror quickly, it felt like my reflection moved a fraction of a second late. Not much, just enough to make my stomach drop. Then, about a month after moving in, my neighbor upstairs moved out suddenly. I only met him once. Quiet guy. Worked nights too. The landlord said he moved for a new job. But the apartment stayed empty for weeks. Then one night, around 1:40 a.m., I heard footsteps above me. Slow pacing, back and forth. I recorded it on my phone. Next morning, I asked the landlord if someone moved in upstairs. He said, no. Still empty. I showed him the recording. He just said, old buildings make noise. That night, I wore headphones to sleep. At around 2:50 a.m., I woke up anyway. Because it was too quiet. Like the kind of quiet where you can hear your own blood moving. Then I heard something inside my apartment. Not loud, just fabric sliding from the hallway near the mirror closet. I stayed in bed for maybe 5 minutes, listening. Nothing. Finally, I got up, opened my bedroom door. Hallway lights were off, but the closet mirror looked like someone had touched it. You know when skin leaves faint streaks on glass? There were hand marks. 2 of them, at chest height, from the outside, facing in. Like someone had been standing in my hallway, touching the mirror. I live alone. I cleaned it. Didn't think about it. Next night, they were back. Same position, same height. Then, one morning, I woke up late for work. Rushed out of bedroom, past the mirror, and for just a second, I saw someone standing behind me in the reflection. I turned instantly. No one there. I laughed, nervous, told myself, brain glitch. But I stopped using the hallway light after that. Then, last week, something happened I can't explain. I came home around midnight. Apartment felt warm, not temperature warm, occupied warm, like when someone has been inside a room recently. I checked everything. Doors locked, windows locked, nothing missing. Then I noticed the closet mirror was slightly open. Sigh slitted an inch. I never open it. Inside is just coats and storage boxes. I closed it. Went to bed at exactly 2:31 a.m. I woke up to a noise. Like breathing. Not loud, not aggressive, just breathing from the hallway. I grabbed my phone, turned flashlight on, opened bedroom door. Hallway empty, but mirror closet was open about a foot now. I know I closed it earlier. I walked slowly toward it, light shaking in my hand. I slid the mirror door open. Inside, everything looked normal. Coats, boxes, shoes. Then my phone light hit the back wall, and I saw something scratched into the paint from the inside. 3 lines, like tally marks, then 3 more under it, like someone was counting days. I slammed it shut, went back to bedroom, locked the door, stayed awake until morning. Yesterday, I packed most of my stuff. I'm moving out this weekend. Tonight is my last night here, and I was feeling okay about it, until about 10 minutes ago. I was brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, and I heard the closet door slide open. Slow, deliberate. I didn't go check. I just turned off the bathroom light, came to my bedroom, locked the door, got into bed. I'm writing this right now, and I can hear it. Not loud, not aggressive, just slow sliding, back and forth, back and forth, like something inside is trying to decide if it wants to come out tonight or wait until after I fall asleep.